Hello, welcome to a random neighborhood in Chicago, right? No, this is a subway line. Welcome to Kimball Station at the very end of the Brown Line, and welcome to the Brown Line. Now, this is of course a very charming, very cute line, but is this Chicago's best subway line? Here's some history, and I'll see you on board to find out.
The history of the CTA Brown Line traces back to 1893, when the Northwestern Elevated Railroad was incorporated, with plans to run a route north from Chicago's downtown to Wilson Avenue on the north side. In 1896, construction began, branching northward off of Chicago's then soon-to-open loop. After some financial difficulties, construction completed at the end of 1899, and on New Year's Eve of 1899, the Northwestern Elevated ran their first train. However, the earlier financial difficulties had meant their franchise had expired, and city officials declared the line unsafe. Not to be stopped by these annoying things called laws, the Northwestern Elevated ran another train the next day, which was stopped by the police, and the crew was arrested. Yes, that actually happened. The train managed to avoid the police long enough to end the loop, but it was unable to exit because, I kid you not, the police opened the Wells Street drawbridge over the Chicago River, blocking the train's exit. After that chaotic start, the line was able to start legally operating on May 31st, 1900. In May of 1907, a branch opened from Belmont to Western, one of many westerns on the CTA, this one in the neighborhood of Ravenswood. This line would become today's Brown Line, and even now it is still occasionally known as the Ravenswood branch. The line was extended to Kimball in December of 1907, completing the line we know today. Throughout the next couple of years, the Northwestern Elevated thrived, opening northward expansions of what is today's North Side Main Line. In 1924, after working together for a decade, the Northwestern Elevated merged with Chicago's other three main elevated railroads to create the Chicago Rapid Transit Company, a precursor to today's CTA. Trains from the Ravenswood branch went through to the Loop and onto what is now the Green Line, using the now abandoned Kenwood branch to terminate in the Kenwood neighborhood of the South Side under this new arrangement. In 1949, the current routing of the Brown Line was established, and in 1993, it was officially renamed to the Brown Line. So now, before we go explore it, a little bit on why I personally think the Brown Line is just amazing. First off, it is the most charming subway line I have ever ridden, especially on the northern section of the line. It's just great. Secondly, unlike some other CTA lines, the Brown Line tends to be not only reliable, but get this, frequent. I know, truly shocking. In all seriousness, though, it is a great line, so let's go explore it now.
Train is here. I'm walking up to the very front to get on. And then, yeah. One funny thing, just as a New Yorker, is that all the Chicago lines that end in the loop say loop. That's just midway, which is not where this train's going. But I find it mildly fun knowing that it's not like it's a specific station. It's just the loop. But fair enough, I guess. This train is a mix of 2,600 and 3,200 cars, and it looks like the very first car is the type of car that's very cool for a very specific reason. And see up there, zoom in, that is a pantograph board, because up until 2004, these trains were used on the yellow line, the Skokie Swift. That was my last Chicago video, and this is where they had the pantographs. So that is very cool, and didn't expect to see that today. So yeah, fun. All right, I'll see you. See you 2 stops down the line at Francisco. We're here. As you saw in my foam shot, there is. It's just like, it's such a cute hill station. I'm purposely exiting on this side. First off, I love the little, like, bunched in vendor machines, and then the 2 tracks, and we come to a grade crossing. This is the reason why Francisco, and why the Brown Line, just this whole section of the Brown Line in general, is so cool. It's also because, like, we're right in a little neighborhood here. There's a little restaurant here, a cafe. If you Chicagoans know what that is, do let me know. But the other cool thing, in addition to all the, like, neighborhood stuff, is that there's just an alleyway that runs down there, and I think we can get to it by this way, and we can walk over to the other and to there. but we're just like in a little neighborhood, and then a big subway comes by. It's not the same way as the yellow line, where it feels like an interurban that grew up, because an interurban would definitely be more rural feeling than this. But I have to say, it does kind of feel interurban-esque in some ways. But what it is charming. It's delightful and charming. I'm not sure if I'm going the correct way to get to the alleyway, but let's see. Am I? Yes, I am. All right, cool. So this is the alleyway. I guess time-lapse to the other end of Francisco Station.
So, this is not a time-lapse shot, notably. Turns out when you film a time-lapse when you're walking, it makes for a very shaky time-lapse that no one wants to watch. So enjoy this Flyover shot. Essentially, Francisco was really cool. That whole section of the Brown Line is really cool. And then enjoy this, like, back window time-lapse shot to Western, where I'll see you now.
Welcome to Western. Western is this street. It's Western Ave. And there's Western, and I think Western on the L. There are a lot of stations named Western. Western on the Brown Line is cool for a very specific and kind of nerdy reason. But let's head downstairs and find out. Also, speaking of Western, apparently there's going to be a new BRT line there. Watch the Stormy Car vid, about that. Which, if that happens, would be great. But if it doesn't, then well. So now that we've made it downstairs, I'm gonna give in full credit to Trains Are Awesome for informing me about this with his video on it. But there's a piece of, is it boarded up? Okay, there was a piece of the Berlin Wall in this station, but I think it's boarded up. I think it's this. No, here it is. Okay, no, here's the piece of the Berlin Wall. So this area was historically very German-American, and yeah, full credit to Trains Are Awesome. He did a vid on the Brown Line. He talked about this, and so yeah, the Berlin Wall in a train station in Chicago. Not exactly where you'd expect to find that, but cool, I guess. As for a rough map, we're here now. So this section, all the Belmont's called the Ravenswood branch. Why is it called the Ravenswood branch? Because there's a neighborhood here called Ravenswood. But we saw Kimball, Francisco, and now Western. So without any further ado, I'll see you down at Southport for something quite odd. All right, we are arriving at Southport, but why am I not getting out? That's because, you know what's just past here? It's the end of the Ravenswood branch. It is the merge. I'll show you on the line map. It's the merge with the red and purple. It's the merge with the red and purple. So, right here, southbound trains go just have a normal junction, but northbound, outbound trains have this really cool, like, flyover that I don't have time to go to now, but I filmed at like 8 a.m. this morning. So I'll cut to very groggy me at Belmont to see the flyover. Let's see me now, and you'll come back to afternoon me when I get to Belmont. So flyover time now. Good morning. Hello, I am at Belmont. I am here at 8 a.m. about 4 hours before I film the rest of the Brown Line video. There goes the Red Line train. Here comes a Brown Line train. But right there is the concrete flyover that was built quite recently that brings Brown Line trains up and over the North Side Main Line onto the Ravenswood branch. So here is a foam shot of us crossing that on the train, and I'll see you back here at Belmont on the train heading back south. Ooh, 2600 cars. Fun.
Sorry for the crusty window aspect of this. I only could take one train on my way up to the Skokie Swift, and this just happened to be the train that I took. I did then take a train back to Belmont. Here's a picture I took out of the back window of that train, so you can see it in its full glory. But yeah, it's very cool, and it's good that they're actually building something as impressive as this, because prior to when this was built in 2021, Brownlee trains had actually cross at grade across the North End Main Line, almost like the Jersey Ave trains on the Northeast corridor, except a lot more frequently. So that would cause delays, and hence they built this. Very cool. And now here are some shots of the Brown Line as it curves through its building south towards the loop with some music underlaid. And I'll see you at Merchandise Mart. Alright, I am condensing this down so that I don't have like a 17-minute video. Basically, yeah, merge station, fine, cool. You know what's even cooler? The Chicago River Bridge. You get an epic skyline view, and then the coolest thing of all, Tower 18, which the CTA claims is the busiest railroad junction in the world. You cross it, their junctions going every which way. It is so cool, so fun. Keep watching for more Tower 18 filming, and then you enter the Chicago Loop. There's no other city on Earth where you can get this much of a skyline view, tour of the city vibe from a subway line. So it's so cool, so great. I'll see you at Washington Wells. Alright, my mom is here. We are leaving Washington and Wells Station on the loop. The next stop is Quincy, which is the closest L station to Union Station, and also is a historic station. So the loop will always have tons of trains going by. That's 2600 trains on the Orange Line. But it's just really epic, and frankly, I can't think of any other city where you can get an experience like this, taking essentially just a free 250 tour of the city on a public transport. Now this is Quincy Station, which, as you can see from that sign, is a historic station. Very cool, and I think the Chicago Loop is just incredible and epic, and this is actually my first time on it. So I'm going to shut up. Here's the time lapse, and I'll see you at Clark and Lake. Alright, so, here is how you film Tower 18 and get these epic faux movie shots. Right next to Clark and Lake Station, there's a parking garage. You're not technically, like, the door won't unlock for you unless you have, like, a parking ticket thing, but you can get in behind someone and just, like, don't touch people's cars and don't mess with the cars, and you'll be fine. Go to the third floor. I'd recommend the third. You could film from fourth, but I think that's too high. Third was best for me, and you get these epic shots of Tower 18. It's just incredible, and I love it, and it's great that this exists, and it's so cool, and I'm going to stop yapping. Enjoy the photo shots! Right, well, that may have been the coolest 25 or so minutes of my life. I think it's really epic that you can, it's basically like a choose your own adventure in terms of photo spots. You can
foam here. Oh, whoa! The person who you just worked on the tower's getting on the train. That's cool. But yeah, the tower's still an active tower. People still work there. It's a choose your own adventure in terms of foam. I mean, you can foam from here, the third floor, and get like the like more head-on views. You can foam from way up top and get straight down views. That would be cool. But what I did was here, and I think it was great. And that brings me to the answer to the question I posed at the beginning. Was the Brown Line Chicago's best subway line? Yes. The answer is a resounding yes. The Brown Line is not only Chicago's best subway line, but it's a gem in and of itself. It's really cool, and frankly, the whole Chicago L is really cool. I'm falling more and more in love with the city. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video on Chicago's Brown Line. I'm sure with my editing it was ridiculously long, but thank you for staying through. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.